Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of American history, but not the stuff you usually find in textbooks. We're talking about the lesser known, the often overlooked, stories that make you go, wait, they never taught us that in school. It's about the people, the events, the quirky details that make the past come alive. And sometimes, the most interesting stories are the ones hiding in plain sight. So get ready to have your mind blown as we uncover 10 little-known facts about American history that will change the way you see the past. We all know the famous line, "Listen, my children, and you shall hear," of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. But Revere's ride was just one piece of a larger web of communication and resistance. Paul Revere wasn't the only one riding that night. He was part of a network of patriots warning colonists about the British troops. One notable figure was Sybil Ludington, who at 16 rode twice as far as Revere. The American Revolution wasn't won by solitary heroes, but by ordinary people from all walks of life, and that's a story worth remembering. Let's talk about the Founding Fathers. We all know the big names, Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, but have you ever heard of John Dickinson? Dickinson was a lawyer, politician, and writer who played a pivotal role in the lead-up to the American Revolution. Known as the penman of the Revolution, he penned powerful essays called Letters from a Farmer in Pennsylvania, arguing against British taxation without representation. These letters spread like wildfire throughout the colonies. Dickinson was also a key figure in drafting important documents, including the Articles of Confederation. He initially opposed declaring independence, but fully supported the war effort once the decision was made. Though often overlooked, John Dickinson's contributions were significant. He was a voice of reason and moderation during a time of great upheaval. His writings helped shape the ideals of a nation. Dickinson's story reminds us that history is full of unsung heroes. What was the first capital of the United States? If you said Washington, D.C., you're wrong. Before Washington, D.C., there was New York City. From 1789 to 1790, New York City was the nation's capital. It was here that George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States on April 30, 1789. The Bill of Rights was ratified by Congress while meeting in New York. Eventually, a political compromise led to the capital being moved to Washington, D.C. Get ready for a historical mystery more baffling than a Sherlock Holmes case. In 1590, a group of English colonists arrived on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. Led by John White, who left for supplies, the colony was deserted upon his return 3 years later. The only clue was the word Croatoan carved into a post. Theories abound: disease, starvation, attacks by Native American tribes, or integration with the Croatoans. The mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke continues to fascinate and intrigue us. It serves as a stark reminder of the harsh realities faced by early colonists. In 1794, the newly formed nation faced a huge debt from the Revolutionary War. Alexander Hamilton, the Secretary of the Treasury, proposed a tax on whiskey. Whiskey was more than just a drink. It was a form of currency, especially for frontier farmers. The tax led to the Whiskey Rebellion, with farmers rising up in protest. They refused to pay the tax, tarred and feathered tax collectors, and took up arms against federal officials. President George Washington gathered a militia force and marched into western Pennsylvania to put down the rebellion. The rebellion fizzled out before any major battles took place. The Whiskey Rebellion was a pivotal moment in American history. It showed that the federal government was willing and able to enforce its laws. It also highlighted the tensions between the East Coast elite and the frontier settlers. Move over, James Bond. There's a new spy ring in town with history. During the American Revolution, the Culper Spy Ring operated right under the British noses. Organized by Benjamin Talmadge, The Culper Ring was made up of everyday people. They used invisible ink, coded messages, and dead drops to pass along vital information. Their intelligence gathering proved crucial to the American war effort. The Culper Spy Ring is a testament to the ingenuity, bravery, and patriotism of ordinary people. Impeachment. It sends shivers down the spines of presidents. The first presidential impeachment happened in 1868 with Andrew Johnson, 17th President of the United States. Johnson clashed with the radical Republicans in Congress over Reconstruction policies. The breaking point came when Johnson tried to fire Edwin Stanton, his Secretary of War. Congress had passed the Tenure of Office Act, which Johnson violated. The House of Representatives voted to impeach Johnson. The impeachment trial took place in the Senate, with Chief Justice Salmon P. Chase presiding. The nation watched as the prosecution and defense presented their cases. The Senate fell one vote short of the two-thirds majority needed to convict Johnson. The first presidential impeachment set a precedent for holding presidents accountable for their actions. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next story is a real head-scratcher. The Battle of New Orleans was fought 2 weeks after the Treaty of Ghent, which ended the War of 1812, was signed. The battle pitted American forces, led by Andrew Jackson, against the British Army. The battle took place on January 8, 1815, just outside New Orleans. Jackson's ragtag army faced off against a larger British force. The Americans emerged victorious, cementing Jackson's status as a national hero. The Battle of New Orleans boosted national morale and solidified the young nation's sense of identity. The Underground Railroad. It wasn't underground, and it wasn't an actual railroad. It was a network of secret routes and safe houses used by enslaved African Americans to escape to freedom. Conductors risked their lives to guide runaway slaves towards freedom. These conductors were ordinary people who believed in the inherent humanity of all people. One of the most famous conductors was Harriet Tubman, who escaped to freedom and then risked her life to guide others to safety. Tubman made 19 trips back into the South, helping over 300 people escape to freedom. The Underground Railroad was a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who fought for freedom. So there you have it, 10 little-known facts about American history that they probably didn't teach you in school. From self-made millionaires to forgotten founding fathers, from secret spy rings to battles fought after the war was over, American history is full of surprises. It's a reminder that history is so much more than just dates and names. It's about the people, the stories, the unexpected twists and turns that make the past come alive. So next time you think about American history, remember that there's always more to discover, more to learn, and more to be amazed by. Now it's your turn. What are some of your favorite little-known historical facts? Share them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.